Before the laughter, before the blockbusters, Jim Carrey stood here, on a dark, empty stage, a teenager with a broken past, but a burning dream. He didn't have money, he didn't have a plan, but he had one thing: belief. Born in Canada, Jim's childhood wasn't easy. His father, a musician turned accountant, lost his job when Jim was just a teen. The family lost everything. They lived paycheck to paycheck until the paychecks stopped coming. Jim dropped out of school at 15, not because he was lazy, but because survival came first. For a time, the Carey family lived in a van, not by choice, by necessity. Winters were cold, nights were long. Hope was thinner than the blankets. Jim took janitor work at a local factory, mopping floors, scrubbing toilets, but inside, he dreamed of something more. Every night, Jim stood in front of a mirror, practicing smiles, voices, faces, characters. He didn't just want to make people laugh, he wanted to make them feel something. At 17, he walked onto a comedy stage for the first time and bombed, but he didn't quit. Before the fame, before the money, Jim Carrey dared to dream. He wrote himself a check for $10 million, dated for a future he hadn't yet reached. He carried it in his wallet, worn and crumpled, but full of belief. Every night under the stars, he visualized success, not as wishful thinking, but as a future waiting to unfold. That check wasn't paper, it was proof of purpose. Then it happened. Roles began to come in, first as a quirky cast member on In Living Color, then exploding onto the big screen. Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. One by one, the world caught up to the vision Jim had held for years. It wasn't luck, it was alignment. It was years of belief finally turning into reality. Fame brought money, fame brought power, but it didn't bring peace. Jim Carrey, surrounded by luxury, felt empty inside. He once said, "I wish everyone could get rich and famous and have everything they ever dreamed of, so they'd know that's not the answer." He had everything, yet felt the weight of nothing. The spotlight doesn't heal the soul, it only hides the cracks. Jim turned inward. He found peace in painting, in silence, in stillness. He began speaking about the power of intention, self-belief, and living authentically. He wasn't chasing laughs anymore. He was chasing truth. Teenagers in vans, dreamers on couches, doubters in dead-end jobs. They listened because Jim had lived it. He wasn't a celebrity. He was a survivor. He became living proof that belief can move mountains, that your circumstance does not define your future. Jim Carrey didn't just become a star, he became a voice, a reminder that you can write your own destiny, even if it starts in a parking lot, because hope walks through the fire, and faith leaps over it. In a world chasing fame, Jim Carrey found truth in simplicity, because real success isn't what you gain, it's what you learn to live without. If this story moved you, if it reminded you to dream bigger, even in the dark, then hit that follow button. Subscribe to Driven Whisper for more true stories that stir your heart and light your path.